This is Ready Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki, the universal energy life force. From the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, and all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready Set Reiki journey, we refer to ourselves as guides rather than hosts, as we too are traveling, supporting each other, and learning on this Reiki journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy C. Wright. Joining me today is Debbie Romero. Now, she is an international, renowned, evidential psychic medium, energy worker, and empowerment teacher who is holding space to bring awareness, inspiration, and love as we raise the vibration collectively for humanity. Debbie, welcome to Ready, Set, Reiki.
I love that. Ready, set, Reiki. That is so cool. It is an honor, Tracy, to be here as a guest on your beautiful podcast show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So let's dive right in. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I have a platform called Transcend with Debbie, and it's been almost 3 years now that we've been doing it. And I really just try to show up, right? We're all doing our part to be a service to spirit and community. And, we all follow those little nudges and those little downloads that we get, whether inspiration from spirit. Some of us, we follow them, and sometimes we don't listen to them. And I do my best to listen. And as I show up daily, like you get to meet many different intuitives, healer, mediums, inspirational speakers, creativity flowing constantly. And so it really does help when you listen to those downloads. And so I just show up and be a service and let spirit do their part.
Beautiful. So when did energy work come into your life? Did you find the energy or did the energy find you?
Oh, I love how you say that. So, I was a very sensitive soul my whole life, but really, I knew that there was so much more, when you go into the work and you start sitting into meditation and you could feel and sense the energies moving. You get inspired to delve deeper into those realms of wanting to understand what this is. And so I would say, I don't remember the years, but I know it's more than 15 years that I have had my certifications. I started with Reiki as yourself. And, or actually I started trance and then went to Reiki. So I kind of went spirit, trance, Reiki, right? And yes. So when I did that, I went for my lessons and teachings and met some amazing people. And of course, you always want to do more. So then you go into the Reiki 2, and you go to Reiki 3, and then you become that teacher. And then you're like, oh, I did all that. But now it's just, I'm sitting with spirit and using the Reiki with the Sui Takata Hayashi when needed, and just letting whoever wants to step forward to hold space, right? So it was both. What we seek is also seeking us. So it was both of us seeking the energy that I needed just right. As much as they were connecting to me.
Yep. Beautiful collaboration.
Yeah. Great teams.
Great teams. Now, you are an evidential psychic medium, energy worker, and empowerment teacher. What is the common misconception about your work?
You say misconception, right? Like what they don't understand. It's what is it that they're trying to understand what I do? I think the biggest thing is oftentimes some people want us to tell them directly exactly what to do. And as an empowerment teacher, that's not my goal. My goal is to teach one to go within, to find within their heart what their spirit is asking and what's seeking. Just like we seek the energy, we're following those little downloads and golden nuggets. And so it's important, yes, to have guidance. It's important to let spirit come in and hold space and do their part. But it's also important to understand that we are also spirit, and that we also have the mind, body, spirit to fall into our thoughts and our needs just as much with their guidance. It's important to honor the moment. And so the misconception is that some people think that we're going to tell someone what to do or give them the advice, and that's it, and that's just a matter of fact. But really, there's so much more that can unfold, and when that happens, you really should give that opportunity to look at the story differently.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wise words. Yeah. So what has been the biggest challenge, or rather struggle, that you have faced on your own healing journey?
Ooh, good question. I think we go through a lot of different layers of this healing journey, or going with worlds within worlds of self-healing and discovery and evolution of understanding self, right? And if I do that, if I go into what was the difficult part, the dark night of the soul will say, letting go of the ego. When you really are just trusting in spirit and you're letting go of, that true shedding can be very difficult. It could be a very heartfelt, emotional battle of self. And what was once, who you once knew you were, is no longer. And when we dive into the journey of self, we're looking for change. And when we put the intent to create the change, the ripple effects that are created, create it. And sometimes it happens slowly and you don't realize you're in the transformation. And sometimes it can be very abruptly. And when it's abruptly, the energies move quick. And sometimes trying to process the energies of self and spirit can get a little overwhelming. So when you're in that state, it can look very unstable. It can look like, what is happening there? Something is seriously not well or balanced with this process for this person. And so when one sees you in part of your journey, not realizing you're healing.
Wonderful. So, what is something you wish your younger self knew about your current profession?
I would say, for me, if I were to tell myself where I'm at now, just have fun with it. Stay in the joy. Don't take things so seriously. The people that will need or feel into the vibration and frequency of the stories that you share will come based on the energy that you're also presenting. So it's important to take care of myself.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, as a psychic medium, energy worker, and empowerment teacher, when it's time for you to get your energetic tune-up, or when you're seeking a teacher, what are some qualities that you look for?
Ooh, great question. Love that one too. I have studied and worked with many. You sit there, you listen to their stories, you listen to their experiences, you feel into the energy and frequency if it's a match. You look at the history of who they're trained by, where did they study. Your spirit will seek the energy because it knows. I also listen to my intuition of my guides that will also tell me. And so trust in your heart. We're always aligned with the right people. You just have to be open to receive their magic. So if you're connecting to someone, it's not by accident. It's always a purpose and a meaning behind the story. So I look, I listen, I feel. And then you also trust. And so it's important to trust the alignment.
Trusting that process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what I did when I found my teachers. I was always aligned within. And I knew in my heart I was supposed to experience those lessons or those moments of love and nourishment from the teachers that I worked with.
Right. And you often hear, when the student is ready, the teacher arises.
Oh, so true. So true. And when you ask for the healing, the healers arrive.
Yep.
Yeah, so totally true.
Right, right. Always makes me think of Mr. Rogers, who said, look for the helpers. The helpers are there. You just have to open your eyes and they're there and trust it.
So true. So true. Yeah. I think many times there's always those even that you find yourselves working with, and the diamond in the rough, right? The ones that are not out on the media, the ones that are hidden deep in that little cave or hole that they've protected within themselves. Those also are those magical moments that you take in as well.
Wonderful. So as an empowerment teacher, what advice would you give someone who's just entering this profession?
You embody the magic. We are all born with senses. We are all psychic. So what you're feeling, don't doubt it. Don't judge it. Don't second question it. Allow the body to feel into the energies that are connecting to you and speaking to you. Everything is always done out of love. And so if you're awakening and you're really starting to focus on your senses and how you're connecting to this work with spirit, welcome it closer. Don't push it away. Oftentimes we want to put up the protections and the barriers, and that also makes it a structure that they also have to work through. So allow them to come close. Yes, the protection is important. The more you heal, the more protected you become. So take your time in this journey. Be patient with the process and keep loving yourself. So that's the message I would love to leave with them.
Beautiful. So what books do you recommend?
My gratitude journal. And of course, Tracy's book. Girl, we got it. We got to throw that in there for each other. We got to have each other's backs, right? There was one when I started was Heal Thy Body, Heal Thyself, right? There was that one that we get. You're going to be gravitated to what calls your spirit. When I first started, it was like the Doreen Virtue back in the days. And, so there's so many that you can sit and hope, go into. I was very connected to a lot of the shamanic books and, just diving deeper and understanding. So yeah, Munaki, there's lots of different things that you can go in and read on.
Yeah, you just have to find your just right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So what other modalities do you offer?
That one is a tricky one because when you say, what do we offer, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a vessel, it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with me just showing up in spirit doing the work. So whatever spirit shows up and does is what you get. Yes, we're attuned to Reiki and we can direct the energy through Reiki. But when you're in trance, they're going to come in the way that your spirit needs it. So when we're saying we're in trance, that means spirit's doing the healing and we're holding space. Yes, when we're in Reiki, we're using the 3 guides of Usui Takata Hayashi. We're also directing it with the symbolic symbols with the intent to go this certain way. When you're sitting and just letting the healing come in, it's going to come in the way that you need it. Many times people can receive upgrades. Many times people can receive energy moving through the auric field, within the soul, within different layers of the body, right? We journey within these worlds, within worlds, and just even a reading can be very healing. There is a frequency and a vibration that always comes forward, and you're always going to get exactly what you need. So yes, I'm Reiki certified. Yes, I do trance healing. Yes, I do readings. And, I've delved into the past lives and the Akashic records and all these different things. But really, at the end of the day, you're going to get what you need at the moment. There's layers of us that they have to work through. And it's not going to happen in one time. So trust the process and what comes through for you in the moment.
Right. And even the 3 teachers that you mentioned, Uzui, Hatashi, and Takata, they had their own unique way of doing Reiki. So there's no wrong way to do it.
Never.
3 different, ways of doing it. So find that, Reiki practitioner, find that energy healer, find that teacher that resonates for you.
Right. Definitely. It's like you're going to a doctor's office. When I would teach my students, it's like, have that professional look. How are you going to present yourself and represent yourself? You're the doctor, you're that nurse, you'll have your folders, you'll have your charts, and how you're going to work for your client and develop a routine where their chart is there. Like today, we're working on these chakras, and let's look at your chakras to see what you did to make the changes for self, and what steps did you take to move the energies. And so once you got the little prescription going on afterwards, your aftercare, then when they come back, you can look at it again and say, well, this is what we're working through today. So every day is a different day.
Right, right. And some, don't realize it is cumulative. I mean, you do have those sessions where you have the aha and that, it might take a little time. So just trust the process.
Most definitely. I think oftentimes when we go in healing, people think that, oh my gosh, I'm going to get rid of my childhood trauma. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get rid of this, and this is moving, and I got healing and it's gone. And yes, energy is moving, but we also have to participate and do our part to make those changes happen.
Right. Wonderful. So do you offer any classes, trainings?
Yeah. So if you follow me on transcendwithdebbie.com, social media, you'll be able to go on my tree link. There's always something happening. I have a podcast on Wednesdays. I do readings live. I am a host on Transcend with Debbie YouTube, Derek Akora's page, Things Network, and Sacred Spiral. So you can find me on 4 different networks at one time. On top of that, I do meditations on Sundays. We call them Soulful Sundays, and those are at 9 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. And they're all donation based. My podcasts and readings are free on Wednesdays, and guests like Tracy come in and they get to share their story, and that also holds space for community. So it's really about bringing awareness and inspiration for those that do come and listen. So there's always a teaching experience that comes in from one of my guests that come in.
Beautiful. Yeah. So how are they able to contact you if someone's listening and like, yes, this is who I want to connect with?
transcendwithdebbie.com will let you email me and it'll send me a message directly to me. So if you need me, just message a girl. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, Debbie, this ends our first part of the journey together, and I'm going to continue on the journey with you with three social media questions. So our listeners send in questions. I narrowed it down to 3. So here we go. Number 1, I saw that you are an evidential medium. How can you tell me a little bit about an evidential medium, how it differs from a psychic medium?
Okay. So everyone is psychic, right? We're all born psychic. We can go into the auric field and feel into the past, the present, the future. So psychically, everyone can feel. Not every psychic is a medium. So when we're going into the mediumship, right, we're allowing our energy and the frequency to change so that we can connect to the energies of spirit realms or the different planes that we talk about, the different dimensions and the different realms of the cosmic energy, right? And so as we do that, we are in different layers on how we work. As you said earlier, we all work differently. There's no wrong way. Evidence means you need to prove it. You need to prove, as a matter of fact, I need evidence that you're speaking to my loved one, whether this is through a form of an address, whether this is form of a phone number, whether this is a name, like you're bringing specific items with detailed information that, yes, as a matter of fact, how would she know this? There would be no way. So evidential, you got to prove it. Evidence to say, yes, that is my loved one. You'll either feel the presence, you'll have the healing, you can feel the energy as it comes forward to you. So there is no judgment in what it is. It's just, I look at it like this. People who are clairvoyant, and they're so clairvoyant, meaning that they can see everything within their mind's eye. I'm a clairvoyant intuitive. Okay. It's just a word that we chose to use, a title. But at the end of the day, we're still, again, just holding space for the energy to come in. Because everything is energy and frequency, even the spirit world. When they come to you, it's energy and frequency.
Beautiful.
That helps.
Number 2, in your experience, why is writing in a gratitude journal important?
My mother was a woman who appreciated the smallest things, from opening the door to getting up, bringing her a McDonald's, or, her life left an impression how important it is to be grateful. It stays with all of us. It changes the energy. Also, when we're worried or we're sitting there with feelings of concern, changes everything. We can just give gratitude for the moment of what is happening in the moment, right? And so our words are very powerful. As intuitives, our aura holds information. So it changes the form with our thoughts as well. And then there's an energy and frequency that comes with it. And so that's why, not only because of my mother, but if you're looking at it from a psychic view, it's always important to stay in the positive thinking, to change maybe something that wasn't so positive. Right?
Very good.
Yeah.
Our third question, as a host of a podcast, can you tell me a little bit about one thing that you've learned in your podcast journey?
It's important not to have judgment. All of us come from different places and backgrounds and studies, and we all work very differently. Everyone comes with their specialty. Doesn't mean that we agree with some of the specialties, but we're learning. So having an open mind, an open heart, an open spirit to the opportunities of others sharing their wisdom, their knowledge, their inspiration, their creativity. It's important to receive the person who's coming in or who you're connecting to just as they are.
Beautiful. So that is our last question. And is there anything else you'd like to share with the listeners? Maybe as we were talking, you forgot to mention. So take the time now to share anything that you would like.
It's important to honor your journey. a journey of self-discovery without judgment. And it's important to use the love. We oftentimes want it to look a certain way, like, oh, that girl is so zenned out. She's got it going on. But you know what's more zen and awesome is you taking time to feel better. What's more awesome is that you're finding a new routine or a rhythm that's different from what you were accustomed to. You're taking steps to make changes. And even if they're not at a pace that you would like, you're still creating a ripple effect of change. And with great love, that's the ingredient that continues to grow, not only for self, but will be felt by many. So always love yourself for where you are in the exact moment of now. Stay present. It's a true gift. Much love.
Beautiful, beautiful. And many people, they get frustrated when they're on the journey, if they're at a standstill or they have to redirect, but that's all a part of the process.
Really is.
Just trust it. All right, Debbie, thank you so much. This is the end of our journey together. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join me here on Ready, Set, Reiki.
Oh, my love, is an honor. Congratulations on your show. Can't wait to see more of it. And thank you to all the listeners who tuned in. You guys all have a great rest of your day. Much love.
All right, my wonderful listeners, if you would like your question featured on this show, reach out at www.readysetreiki.com and social media. Also check out Feather Sister Wellness, an online platform that offers yoga classes, yoga trainings, Reiki, and Reiki trainings. My name's Tracy Seawright, and this has been Ready, Set, Reiki.